Ciao ragazzi, Inter Worldwide here again with an update, and I'm joined by my boy Ricky Buzz all the way from Texas. How you going, my man? Thanks for joining us here on Inter Worldwide. Love your stuff, love your channel. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
I'm doing well, man. Do you enjoy the game?
Oh man, I absolutely enjoyed the game, bro, especially the second half. I'm always for complaining against those sides that are really, really bad, that are really trash. But let's separate Verona from that bunch, man. They're a top of the table team for a season. There's not a single team in Serie A that's not going to be troubled by them. The first half went exactly as I expected it. I knew that for us to go ahead before the break, we would need an act of individual brilliance or an act of luck. It was going to be one of those tight, nitty gritty games similar to Napoli. So for us to come out in the second half the way that we did, tactically was on point, and we basically showed from the first kick in the second half that we were there to get 3 points. What about you, bro?
Yeah, I found it a bit strange though to try a new formation against Hellas Verona, especially a team that plays defensive, or the way they were playing against us instead of us playing it against Spezia the previous match. But yeah, again, it's kind of a tale of two halves with Inter. One half looks a bit lackluster, uninspiring. The second half, we end up pulling something out of the bag.
Yeah, it's almost the opposite to our cross city rivals at the moment, who are already up 2-0 inside 12 minutes against Lazio. I've got to say, I kind of did see that coming. It's incredible. But without looking too much at our rivals, because I think we've only just completed match day 13 or 14. There's a long time left. Ricky,
Yeah.
my bro, do you see Inter as a champion team this season, as a Scudetto elect? Because there are some fans that the first day that we signed Conte were like, all right, Scudetto. No. I reckon for the first time ever in Conte's reign this morning, did I see us play like a team who was ready to contest for the Scudetto properly. 7 wins on the bounce in Serie A, starting to come together just a little bit.
Yeah, I actually do see us as a contender for the title. I actually had it. My prediction was that we would win it this season, especially with Juventus getting Pirlo. But nobody saw Milan being this good and especially being consistent.
Yeah.
But there are a few issues we've had, such as seeing out games. And that's really been our big issue, seeing out games and then slow starts.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where, and I said this with our friends Christian Rivas and Mario, is that one of the biggest pluses with this Inter team is that we're never out of the match until the whistle's gone and we're on the team bus or we're back in the dressing room. Like, how many times did we see last season? We were horrendous. There were even a couple of games last season where I turned it off only to have my phone blow up like twice in the space of 3 minutes. I'm like, oh, cool, D'Ambrosio and Bastoni goals at the back post. Now we're winning against Parma. And the same deal with Cagliari this season. You have that Barella getting you out of danger. We had games against Bologna and Verona last season where we left it super late. But at the end of the day, with the whole COVID thing and everything like that, Barcelona are in the pits form-wise. Real Madrid, even though they're starting to pick up form, have not been good this season. You've got Liverpool drawing and losing games. Inconsistency is pretty much the make of this campaign. And if we're starting to look like one of the more consistent sides in Europe, I don't think the fans have too much to complain about, bro.
Yeah, but then also a bit of the backlash from us falling out of the Champions League too. That could play a factor.
Penalty for Lazio. Sorry, man, for zoning out. That was such a soft penalty, bro. What do you think of this league, man? Because it's really inconsistent. Let me just update you what's going on, because I don't think you've got the game up. There's a yellow card been given to Simone Inzaghi on the side. I don't know if it's a penalty or not, but yeah, it's looking. Yeah, what are your thoughts on VAR and the penalty situation at the moment, man? Because it looks to me in Italy, it's really up to the discretion of every single referee in every single game.
Yeah, isn't it kind of the similar situation in England where it's like they're not checking it or they are checking it? It's either after the minute, it's 2 minutes after. Because I remember Ashley Young had it was a situation with Ashley Young doing a high boot on someone. I think it was a problem. But it was like 5 minutes later, the decision's reversed and they end up giving a penalty.
Dude, today you saw when Lukaku's shirt was tugged in the box. Like, just because he's a beast, like that's a penalty every freaking day of the week. Ciro Immobile, of course, he misses his first penalty of the season.
Wow.
Oh wait, Oh, what a recover from who is that just scored? Holy hell, that's a big game play from Luis Alberto. Ricky, brother, Immobile had his penalty brilliantly saved by Donnarumma up onto the crossbar, and Luis Alberto, like an absolute eagle picking up a worm off the floor, just with a header from about 11 yards out into the bottom corner. Oof. I gotta say, man, Milan and everybody else in their team, they're doing everything they can to keep pushing, man. Every single little call, every 50-50, it's going well for Milan, but 2-1, and this game will keep getting more and more interesting. Ricky, what else can we talk about, man? Oh, yes, Handanovic. Let's talk a little bit about my boy, Handanovic. I've said it for a long time now that, even 2 years ago when I started Inter Worldwide, I started saying, are we looking to replace Handanovic? And it was like, no, you're crazy. You'd be disrespectful for even bringing it up. I'm like, all right, cool. Revisit this next season. Then next season came around I think it was last campaign, and towards the back end of last campaign, we saw a couple of things in our goalkeeper department. A, Handanovic is slipping. B, we ain't got no plan B under Padelli. And C,
Yeah.
our third choice is closer to the club mascot than it was to an actual goalkeeper. So we did the right thing by saying to Bernie, look, thank you for being Conte's voice on the sideline, but we're going to sacrifice on. Padelli showed that he's not good enough for a mid-table club, and now we've got Radu, and maybe Radu's not showing enough to impress to get a run out in training, but in my opinion, bro, we can't be starting Handanovic next season because these small lapses, we're looking to be a team that wins the title now, not to come forward.
Yeah.
So we don't have time or patience for 1, 2, or 3 mistakes. You drop a game and you drop 2 points, it could be the difference between first and second. So overall, what's your thoughts on Handanovic, man? I'm sure you're a big fan of him, club captain wise, because like a couple of other players we had in the banter era, they're at the right place at the wrong time. Inter is the right place, but that was the wrong time for a player like Handanovic. So I'll always give him the big up for that. But what's your thoughts, man?
I felt like with last season happening with Handanovic getting injured and us having Padelli in the games, either he was pouring. I felt this season with Conte wanting to go for experience and try and push for a title, that we would get like at least not you can't find a top quality keeper, especially during the COVID times, but at least a good replacement. But still, we're just sticking with Handanovic until he gets injured or something happens, and we're going to use Padelli.
Yeah, I,
'Cause I
I
thought,
said it before and I'll say it again. Like, if you're reactive in this situation with a goalkeeper, you're going to be forking out stupid amounts of money for a goalkeeper because it's one of those things where teams in the transfer market can isolate your problem. Liverpool wouldn't have paid 85 million for Alisson Becker if Karius wasn't horrible and bombed 2 goals in the Champions League final in front of the whole world to see. A goalkeeper is one of those positions where if you show that you need one, whoever's selling you that goalkeeper is going to take you to the cleaners. Chelsea found out the hard way by desperately needing a goalkeeper, and they went and forked out, what was it, 70 million on Kepa Arrizabalaga. And he looks like he's worth more, closer to $70 than $70 million. So I think we definitely need to be one of those clubs in Europe that's looking for a top replacement for Handanovic. And I think I forget who was saying it. It might have been I forget now. But if Handanovic is our second choice goalkeeper next season, you can't ask for a better choice second goalkeeper than that. He'll be the best second choice goalkeeper on the planet, hands down, in my opinion. He'll be there. He'll be giving the great guidance to whoever is there to take the reins. He'll be able to tell him the intricate parts of how to distribute and communicate properly with the back three because he's so experienced with it. Having Handanovic as a backup now, that's actually the perfect time for him to become the second choice goalkeeper. Kind of like the way Toldo did at the end of Julio Caesar's reign. So yeah, what else can I talk about with my dude Ricky? Oh, what was your reaction to big boy Fabrizio Romano saying that Marotta has now said Eriksen's on the transfer list? Man, he's definitely out.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
The way Eriksen experience is gone, yeah.
It's pretty clear he's probably on his way out. Didn't start the Europa League final. Barely played this season. Barely was introduced last season. Only comes on as a sub. Even then, Conte's even switched his formation because I had this talk with Alex Dono and Jerry about who the blame lies on. I said it's 50-50 because even Conte's come out and switched his formation around to accommodate Eriksen. And even then, Eriksen still doesn't look like he's adapted. Which is pretty weird because feel as if he's a similar mold to Sensi, and that they're both like attacking minded, can create chances, can break the lines. But I don't know, it hasn't worked out for him. But there were reports a few months ago that supposedly we want to try to get 30 million for him, which I don't see how that's going to be possible when he's not
unless there's a
starting.
club that wants unless there's a club that wants to swap us someone with that sort of value, I don't really see it happening either, man. To be honest, I just don't think he's played enough. But someone in the forums chat said it perfectly a couple of days ago. They just said it plain and simple. Mourinho thinks he's shit. Conte thinks he's shit. Therefore, at the moment, he's shit. Move on and find somebody else. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. I went, whoa. You know what? That makes a lot of sense, man. You got Mourinho, who couldn't care less if he walked out the door. Conte, who couldn't care less. In a day and age where physicality and cardiorespiratory endurance basically dominates every single sport, athletes prevail at the moment, sometimes a little bit more than technicality and skill. I can see exactly why Christian Eriksen is being told, you can't keep up, mate, adapt or leave.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man.
No.
It's unfortunate because, I've watched the Premier League pretty much my whole life, and seeing him the way he played for Spurs in the last 5 years before he came here, my God, he was good quality.
Yeah, his like position and role, that Ozil, Kaká, Snyder role, the number 10 playmaker role is fading out now. They're no longer using it anymore.
Yeah, well, definitely not as much anymore. And if you're in that position, you're expected to bust through the lines and help out defensively as well, which a lot possess that natural skill set, because prior to this era, they've just basically been told to float around and, your free roaming role in the middle of the park, distribute the ball in and out, and that's about it. Dude, your reaction to Juventus, first of all, the decision being overturned to allow Napoli to give their point back and Juventus to be, docked the 3 points that they were given so cheaply. And second of all, really bad day for Juventini, a 3-0 loss away to Fiorentina. Overall, man, what's your thoughts on Juventus this season, and how far do you think Pirlo can get with the squad?
I don't see Pirlo winning anything. Actually, I don't really see them winning much. I think they'll probably get knocked out of the Champions League again. In the Serie A, I don't see them being that good. Even with Ronaldo on the pitch yesterday, it still looked lackluster. Cuadrado's an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, man. He's just a horrible human being, it looks like. Like, if I was ever coming up against him on international duty, like Alexis Sanchez has found out the hard way twice, I'd be in the dressing room going, "Oi, everyone, keep an eye out for Cuadrado. Yeah, he's an absolute dog, honestly, man. Don't get any, every single time." And he didn't even look remorseful. He makes the challenge, looks at the ref, goes, "Oh, guess I'll go off then."
Yeah. And then the decision for Napoli to get overturned is actually good, because, to be fair, if a team can't travel or whatever the situation is, they should have just been postponed. Because, again, we're in the middle of like a pandemic. You kind of got to be at least like a little understanding.
It really goes to show you how much of a snake Agnelli is, the owner of Juventus, because when the initial decision was handed down, Napoli said it stunk to high hell and took it to court within seconds. Agnelli's not going to fight this decision because he knows he was coasting on bullshit the whole time. He would have woken up and gone, damn it, they got me. Well, I might not as well fight it because everyone can already see what an asshole I am.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for how this game ends, man? It's currently 2-1 to Milan, corner to Lazio, 10 minutes left in the first half. Plenty of time left. Oh, yeah, I can see. Are you watching it in the background?
Yeah. I can see it probably going 2-2 or ending in a draw.
Any sort of drop points, man, I'll take it at the moment. Especially like if Milan keep coasting on these sort of victories before they get their players back from injury and stuff, it'll be hard to stop, man. I don't think they're pretenders much anymore. Although, as I said, man, people need to remember Serie A is one hell of a marathon. Like, it's a long season, man. It's a long campaign. Things change, objectives change, positions on the table change almost every week in the back end of the season. So I can't really take the table seriously until I get to like match day 29, 30, and then you start to see a reflection of who's going to end up where based on their injuries and whatnot.
Yeah, I said the two biggest matches that I'll be interested to see is how Milan Juve go, and then how Inter Juve go.
Yeah, that'll be huge, man. Absolutely huge. We've got I think we've got Crotone first game back from the break,
Yeah.
but the Juve match is just around the corner now, man. I mean, it has to be. We've played 14 match days, which means there's only four more opponents still to play. Crotone, Juventus. Off the top of my head, have we played Roma yet this season?
I think we did.
Yeah, that's right. We did. I think we did. We played we played Lazio already this season. Played Napoli, obviously. We lost to Milan. I think our last game might be against. Looking at the teams, Atalanta's up 2-0 away from home. Have we played Udinese yet? Yes, we have. So I think our next game, our first game back is Crotone, straight after Christmas. Obviously not the hardest game in the world, but they're starting to pick up a tiny bit of momentum, which is good for them. They're going to need all the points that they can possibly get.
We'll be crunch time when we come back. Sampdoria, Roma, Fiorentina in the cup, and then Juventus.
So we haven't played Roma yet. We're still yet to play Roma. They're up 1-0 at the moment. Decent season for them so far. I underrated them a little bit, but they look to be coming good. Mkhitaryan's a hell of a player, man. He's got that free roaming role where he just cuts in from side to side, and him with Pedro and Pellegrini feeding Dzeko, it's actually worked out a little bit better than I thought. What's Pepe Reina doing, like prime Messi taking on players? We'll hang out till half time, eh? 6 minutes left. Oh, Theo Hernandez. Oh my goodness, dude! What do you think of Theo Hernandez? Is he the best? Is he the best left back in the world, or what?
Yeah, up there with Davies, of course.
Yeah. Like I think Theo Hernandez, but his defensive awareness wasn't great about a year ago, but he's really upped himself in that end playing in Italy. Since transferring to Serie A, he was probably told, look, you've got everything. It's just your awareness behind you needs to be way better. And I think he's picked that up a lot in the last season under Pioli, and that's what's made him such a good player.
Yeah. Which is funny, too, because everybody had it, Pioli's going to crash out and he's going to be sacked going into this season, and now look at him now.
Exactly, man. There's still time for anything to happen, time for them to run away with the league, time for them to
plateau.
Time to tell. Ricky, were you happy to bomb out of the Champions League in fourth as opposed to going into the Europa League, or would have you still preferred to enter the Europa League if we were to be eliminated from the group stages?
I would have preferred getting out of just getting out completely of Europe, because honestly, you don't need
what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, and all the extra tiredness, and then rotating players, and then we needed this player to play. Now on top of that too, it's kind of dumb. Who's to say if we do go into the Europa League, we don't get knocked out in the next round automatically? So
how stressful and long was it just to get to the final, and then it can all be yanked away from you in the space of 1 second, and you're like, dude, this wasn't worth it at all.
Yeah.
You probably spend more time as a club traveling and paying for flights than you get for prize money.
Yeah. Oh, because originally in the beginning of the season, it had us out of at least getting to the round of 16.
Well, with the group that we got, yeah, but a couple of fans said it perfectly. This scenario would have never happened if we just stayed focused in the Europa League final and won that game, because then we would have been a pot 1 team as opposed to a pot 3, and then it just becomes a whole much easier. So that when we did lose the final, that was actually one of the biggest things. I was on the phone to Bruno afterwards, and we were devastated. I'm like, bro, the whole missing out on pot 1 today just opened up a whole new realm of problems for us. 3 minutes left in the first half. Free kick for Lazio. Come on, Lazio. I never expect you to do anything, but you're about as useless as the leaves in my driveway at the moment this morning. What are your plans for Christmas, Ricky?
Probably gonna go watch Wonder Woman.
Awesome, bro.
and probably spend time with family.
Man, chance for Lazio. Oh, probably get a corner out of this. Yeah. Or is it a foul? Might be a foul. Tonali's in there, and I think he's starting to pick up a little bit of form. He had not the best start to his campaign under Milan, but it'll take him a while to adjust. And I still think
Yeah.
he's a really, really pick up. If Milan, they'll have no problem redeeming him, and that looks like an almost shoe-in now that they'll make the top four. However, at the start of the season, that was one of their concerns. If they don't qualify for the Champions League financially, they'll be in a little bit of trouble. They really need that Champions League qualification because they've kind of backtracked a bit on their finances and put a couple of eggs in the basket of Tonali working out as well. But they got him on a really good price and a really good deal.
Yeah.
What do you think so far about Arturo Vidal?
He's good. Would have been better to have gotten him last season in January, but
when he came on today with 20 minutes left, though, it was almost impossible to get the ball off him and impossible to break him down. He was really good at carrying two. Like, you got to remember, Arturo Vidal, for the majority of his career, was world class and a winner. So injecting him for 94 minutes may be a little bit problematic if you don't grab an early goal. Injecting him for 20 minutes to hold the lead, that's pretty much the core reason why you sign these sort of players into their 30s. So, job done.
Who do you think will go for in January, in the January market?
January is going to be like a really weird market where I do think it'll be a lot of swaps, a lot of deals involving exchanges of assets rather than money going in different directions. So Eriksen might go out on loan. It might even be a smarter option considering we might already be thinking of life after Conte. Whether or not he wins the Scudetto is successful, his track record just speaks for itself. This is the guy who wins and creates problems when he wins. So Marotta, in my opinion, Marotta's the smartest director in the country. And I think he knows what he's doing with the Eriksen deal. So if he gets loaned out, great, because someone pays his wages and we might even get another chance with him in another season or under another coach. If we do sell him for anything over 22.5 million, I think it's all plus Valenza. It's green from there. So that means that we could break even. If we are going to swap him for a player, I've got one simple request. Just make it a player we can use. Make it a player that actually gets some worth out of it. I mean, if he's going to go in one direction to a club, bring in a player that can actually do something for us as well. But I guess we'll see what happens. What do you reckon, man? Who do you think we go for? What a waste of a shot.
Isn't La Castrovilli from Fiorentina?
Castrovilli from Fiorentina. Yeah. What about Rodrigo De Paul? I hear we're constantly.
I was going to say De Paul.
He's tenacious.
Yeah, De Paul would be a good addition.
Yeah, but it ain't like Eriksen's going to go to Udinese. So in that case, we need to have a sale lined up and then some money ready for the.
Wasn't there a list of players that are like up for they can leave in January? I think Perisic was one of them. Eriksen.
Nangolan's definitely out, man. He's my biggest disappointment in the club since bloody Ricardo Quaresma, for God's sake, man. Like Raja Nangolan staying home posting on social media all the time. Like, I don't know, man. I think he's kind of lost the plot a little bit up here because that looks like an insecure man to me, someone who's watching his team borderline first in the ladder, and you're posting stuff on social media during the game, eating chocolate, at home drinking sometimes as well. Like, you can try and tell us all that you're having fun, but to me that looks like a man who's sort of crying for attention.
Right? Yeah.
Like, it's up to you. You want to let your career rot and you want to spend the last few years just collecting a paycheck, that's fine. I just wish it didn't come at the expense of a club that has such different, priorities. We've got higher expectations than that. So should have seen the writing on the wall. He didn't really look like he wanted to sign here, even when he was at the airport and rocked up.
Yeah, which is pretty funny. I'm surprised they didn't just get rid of him like they did with Icardi. I was personally in the camp of let's just keep Raja. He's a good midfielder, a backup midfielder if we need one. And on top of that, him with Vidal this season, it'll be good. But I mean, even now his attitude just isn't helping him.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like we're going to go in at halftime. Milan 2, Lazio 1. Lazio with most of the ball in the back end of the first half, so we're really, really hoping that they grab a goal. But hey, even if they don't and Milan do win today, doesn't matter because, as I said, 24 games left in the season. Jeez, Ricky, man, 24 games left in the season. Come on. You'd sound like a real loser now if we keep complaining about what Milan are doing. If they want to keep winning, that's fine. But there is so many games left in the season, so many big games, still a reverse derby to come. Let's just focus on ourselves, yeah, bro?
Yeah. Even Sassuolo's currently sitting fourth at the moment. That's pretty good after 14 games.
There you go, man. It's only going to get tighter and tighter. I hope it gets more and more congested in that middle section, especially in like those Champions League zones. I want to see a lot of these teams grinding it out to like the last 2 days. So much to play for. It'd be great if with 2-3 games left, all of the top 6 are still fighting for the top 4. That'd be really, really nice. Ricky, anything more to add, man? One final thought. Who's been the best player for us so far this campaign?
Probably Lukaku.
Yeah. He's
coming up when it matters.
He might not have cracked a goal today. How good was his hold-up play today, man? That was a 10 out of 10 hold-up performance. No one was getting the ball off this guy in the second half.
Yeah, he's getting better and better. Because about how all the hype from when he came from United, his first touch is bad. But then you see a year later his progression. He's now winning crosses, taking on the first man, better hold-up play. Can only keep going up.
Yeah, exactly, man. I would say it's Lukaku or definitely my man Barella.
Yeah.
So last play of the first half. 3 kick to Lazio, but this will be the end of the first half here if they can't even get the ball into the box. It'll be an interesting second half, though. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Happy with Hakimi, man. He had another really good performance today on the right-hand side.
Yeah, which is going to take him time to ease into the league as well.
100%, man. But I'm very happy with the way he's progressing as well. Halftime, Lazio 1, Milan 2. And that's where I'm for the day, man. I've been up for a while now. So, to my dude, Ricky, thank you very much for joining me, man. And trust me, it'll be the first of many times we speak on Inter Worldwide.
All right, for sure. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, brother. See ya. Forza Inter.